So, because I have a serious video planned that I have a board behind this one for, I'm going to do something fun and lighthearted first. So, when the heavy topic goes up, that's heavy. This is the light and frothy topic about the Toronto Arenas and how they have a direct lineage with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And there's something weird about this. So before the National Hockey League existed, there was the National Hockey Association, and there really isn't a difference. The difference is one guy. The National Hockey League was created. Frank Calder was named its first president, November 26, 1917. It was created to get rid of Eddie Livingstone. Eddie Livingstone was the owner of the Toronto Blue Shirts. Now, the first thing that they realized at this meeting was you can't have a hockey league and not have Toronto in it. Toronto's the biggest city in Canada. You can't have a league without Toronto in it. So, they agree we're going to have this league, and Eddie Livingstone is not invited. That was the agreement. That was basically it. It was, we like things the way they are. We're going to keep everything kind of the same. And we agree we're a league. Yep. Except the Quebec Bulldogs. We're like, yeah, we're a league. We're not ready yet, though. We'll be ready in 1919 to start playing. So, this left the league with very few teams. But that was fine. What they were concerned with was, managing to get the product out on the ice. And, of course, then the Montreal Wanderers only played 6 games and their building burned down. But the Toronto Arenas weren't the Toronto Arenas that first season. They had no name. So they were known as the Torontos. Yeah, the Torontos. And some actually still called them the Blue Shirts. Now, it was interesting because the Toronto Blue Shirts was the name of the team Eddie Livingstone had owned. And while the other owners hated him, these players were still under contract to Eddie Livingstone's Blue Shirts for a league that had been suspended. The NHA had not been folded. The NHA hadn't been, just killed off. It was suspended. So think about it. They suspended the league to have their own. Blue shirt players were given temporary contracts with the team that didn't have a name. And if players were at all feeling beholden to Eddie Livingstone, well, it didn't matter. Because if they wanted to play hockey in Toronto, they played for this unnamed team. They got paid by cash or check once a week. So it's a little sketchy. These are temporary contracts. These are Eddie's players, and when Eddie called them out for it, they went, shut up. Aren't those my players? Yeah, shut up, they're your players. This is my game, my team. Shut up. This is the building we played in. Shut up. Are those our jerseys? Yeah, you're going to have to leave, sir. The NHL claimed an agreement to buy out Livingstone, but it never happened. In fact, they ordered him to sell. And numerous times he's given offers to buy just the whole Blue Shirts name, right? So that the NHL can just be rid of him for good and they don't have to worry about legalities. Because, yeah, Livingstone, every time you turn around, is trying to take him to court. Like, hey, you guys are done. I'm taking you to court, and just nothing happens. But yeah, they publicly went out, we bought out Livingstone. They didn't. And they always lowballed them too. The NHA, I should say, suspended operations again in 1918. So think about this. The Toronto No-Names win the first Stanley Cup in the National Hockey League. So they have now had a Stanley Cup awarded in the NHL. Went to the Toronto No-Names. They weren't known as the Arenas until 1947. So 1947, their name is officially recognized as the Arenas from 1917-1918. So they go back to the board and they go, so we're going to suspend operations of this league that no longer exists again. And the only reason that league still technically existed is because Livingstone was trying to get it going again. Livingstone was like, hey, I'm going to throw a party. Nobody's going to your party, Eddie. I'm gonna throw the biggest party. Nobody's going to Eddie. Livingstone wanted $20,000. The arena company that owned what would become the Arenas offered $6,000. And Livingstone goes, I asked for 20. And the arena company's like, we offered you 6. So the arena company got really creative and called them the Toronto Arenas. And that's why they were the Arenas, because the arena company owned them. Sort of like finding out the Boston Bruins colors came from a store franchise chain. It's demystifying, right? So the Toronto arenas were named the Toronto Arenas. This created a separation where they could say, now we're our own team. We are the Toronto Arenas. We're no longer at all affiliated with the Blue Shirts, and so we're good. We're good. We're no longer the Blue Shirts on any level, although they still had the players from the Blue Shirts under temporary contract. And this is why when you look at the NHL histories and you look at the Montreal Canadiens, they will claim history from prior to 1917 to what the Montreal Canadiens did in the NHA. The original Ottawa Senators claim that history as well. Toronto does not. Toronto looks at that history before 1917, and even though it's over 100 years ago, they go, same team, but that was when that jerk owned us, right? He must have been a very, very unlikable person, I guess, because I don't find anything when I look up stuff on him. I mean, there's a whole video on here, The Tragic Tale of Eddie Livingstone. And it's fascinating how everybody just kind of agreed not to like him. Only NHL teams were then allowed to play at the arena. So the arena company goes, only NHL teams get to play here, which kills Livingstone's dream of bringing back the Blue Shirts dead. That's it. That the arena just goes, we've decided we're so they were going to offer him $6,000 and he wouldn't take it. So they changed the name of the team so they wouldn't have to pay him squat. Well, now it's not your team anymore. We changed the name, and only NHL teams get to play in this arena. So, sucks to be you. So, Livingstone would have to move on, and he would try to restart leagues. He would try to start up his own league. He tried to bring a team up in Chicago, and as a result, the NHL put a team in Chicago on the agreement that the AHA, which was the American Hockey Association, would stop dealing with Livingstone. So they did. And then some of the players that he had on his Chicago team ended up being Blackhawks. And when he complained about it, the NHL effectively said, shut up. Yeah, it's a fascinating, tragic tale. It really is. 1918-19, however, things don't go as well for the Arenas. So the Arenas, who as an unnamed team won the Cup in 1918, they don't win it in 1919. They're playing poorly. And down the stretch, some players just leave. I'm not under contract here. I was a Blue Shirt. I don't know what's going on. You guys aren't paying me very well. I'm just going to leave. So because the Toronto Arenas are having a hard time making ends meet and finding players to play for them, they suspend operations. The NHL agrees to end the regular season early, and this is to allow the arenas to get their house in order. And yeah, players actually left. And this is not at a time where you have 23-man rosters and minor league. No, you got 6 guys. And if some guys leave, you don't have 6 guys, you have a hard time getting around on the ice. This would have been, I'm trying to think if that's, no, the Rover would have been before that. So it still would have been 5 players and a goalie. But man, yeah, when some guys leave, you kind of don't have a team anymore. So the Arenas officially withdrew from the NHL February 20th, 1919. Meaning only Ottawa and Montreal remained as NHL teams because Quebec's still like, we'll be in a second. Eventually, though, Quebec gets moved to Hamilton because Eddie Livingstone's trying to get a team in Hamilton to start up a league. So the NHL moves the team from Quebec to Hamilton to screw them. Because that's what they do. It's like I said, it's fascinating. It is hard to tell this story without getting back into the whole, this is how the NHL screwed over Eddie Livingstone. At one point, he is awarded $20,000 or $5,000. Eddie Livingstone was offered $5,000 and then claimed he never got it. And people believe Frank Calder pocketed it. Where's this money for? That's going to Eddie Livingstone. Yeah, I'll see he gets it. Oh, no, a man of my honor. I'll see Eddie gets it. Cold dead hands. So only Ottawa and Montreal remained. But then December 13th of 1919, the arenas were sold and became the St. Patrick's. So that's why with the Toronto franchise you see now, they can wear an Arenas jersey, they can wear a St. Patrick's jersey, and somewhere the ghost of Eddie Livingstone is running around trying to get his money and trying to figure out what happened with his contracts. I almost feel bad for the guy, but when it's that universal, it's sort of like when everybody dislikes that one person working, you go, it seems mean, but there has to be a reason for that. It seems really mean, but there has to be a reason why everybody agrees that one person is a problem. So there you go. The history of the Toronto arenas. Just sort of a fun thing to look at this morning. Before we get into some more serious stuff. So just sort of a fun thing to do. And yeah, Eddie Livingstone. Seriously say that was the most fun video that I've ever done, and that if you look him up, it is endless fun. Just thinking about how every time he went, all right, I've got an idea. The NHL went, what is it? Okay, we're gonna crush that one too. You're going to put a team where? Yeah, all right. I swear he could have said, I'm putting a team at the North Pole, and they would have been like, oh, we're already at the North Pole. So anyways, there you go. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.